Hello everyone, I am here to take you through a tour of the management of your WIN site. So this is called the Explorer view, where you get to explore Western Washington University and all the organizations and events within it. So to get to your site, there's a few different ways to get there. One is you can find your memberships here. You can just click on your site. This is the Explorer view, so how others see your site. And then if you are an admin in the roster, you'll see this Manage Organization button. The other way to get there is in the top right corner here, next to your account. You'll see the Explorer view, which is what we're looking at now, and then Manage takes you behind the scenes into what we call the Action Center. You won't see this gray box here, but you'll see My Memberships and you'll see any organization that you're a part of. And you can go ahead and click on your office or club to find the management view. This is where you're going to see things like a re-registration for clubs that need to re-register each year. When there's a virtual event, a virtual fair, you'll also see that opportunity to sign up here. But that's all you can do on this screen. You'll want to access the menu from this top left corner here, and you'll see all sorts of different options. So the first one we're going to look at is the roster. First, you'll see this primary contact here. This is the person for clubs that will be sending announcements, newsletters, updates, anything like that. We're going to send it to the primary contact. And so you want to make sure that that person is frequently checking their email. This is going to go to their Western account. You can change this anytime by just simply clicking on this little button here. And you can select anybody from the roster to be your primary contact. It does not need to be the president of a club or the director of your office. It just needs to be anybody that's willing to get the emails. It's also, if somebody wants to contact your club, the message will go to the primary contact. I'm going to switch views to a club to give you a view of a club roster. This is what you'll see if you need to re-register your club. You'll see the Acapella needs to re-register, so you'll see this blue button here. Okay, so for clubs, and really for any office, you'll see a list of the folks on the roster here. At any time, if you know that somebody has left the club or the office, you can always click on their name and end the membership there. You can also end all memberships, but I don't recommend that. There's also tabs here to see pending perspectives, and we are currently not using the terms and conditions feature here. That's just if we had set some kind of condition to be a leadership. Pending is who you have sent invitations to join your roster, and you can resend those if you notice that they have not responded to your invitation. So this might be folks that have signed up on a sign-up sheet. And you'll see that there's some Gmail accounts in here and this other address. Those will not work. It needs to be a Western account in order for them to accept their invitation because WIN does not recognize Gmail accounts. It only recognizes Western accounts there. The prospective list is anybody who has asked to join the committee. If there was a name here, you would see a little button to approve their member or deny their membership there. On your roster, we use generic terms called lead, co-lead, and budget coordinator. You can manage those positionings anytime. You'll see, for example, the lead officer here. So Acapella has changed that to president. They did that just by clicking on the link there. They changed it to president and saved it. You can also create your own positions by clicking here. Put the position name, if it's a member or an officer, if it should be shown on the roster publicly, if it's a currently active position, and they can also receive contact form emails. So if somebody wants to contact the club or the office, they can receive those emails as well as the primary contact. That is only for that contact, the organization contact form, not for us sending newsletters and that. You can also decide what access they get, either no access, full access, or you can pick and choose what they what they should be managing. So for example, if you have somebody that is only going to be managing events for you, putting meetings and club events or office events, you can give them full access to do so. And that's all that they'll see on the menu here. So you can really customize your roster here. For offices, that's a nice way to put in the names of the positions within your office, which is different for every position there. With clubs, it's a nice way to add things like Acapella has done here for event coordinator, PR coordinator, secretary, that kind of thing. You can also use the roster to message folks. So we use this messaging tool from a different view in Win, but you can use this within your organization to create an email relay. So from here you can decide who on your roster, what positions, and or specific members who will receive those email messages. Enter the title. Here you'll enter the subject of your email message, and it'll tell you how many people are going to receive that based on what you choose up here. You can also send text messages this way, but the receiver needs to turn on text messaging in their account. Here, they'll need to submit a phone number and turn on text messages in order to receive those. You can also invite people. So if you say take a list of folks that are interested in your club or want to hear more about your office, you can always copy and paste those from an Excel document or type them in one by one, either commas or just line by line. Once you add their email address, you click add email address, and then you choose which position they should be invited to have on the roster. And then send an invitation, and then they'll be added to the roster once they accept that invitation. At any time, you can also export your roster if you need that. It'll be an Excel document. So also in this menu is the About section. This is where you can add or edit any details about your club or office. You won't see this ability to change your official name. If you want to do that, you'll need to submit a form. This will be where you can change your summary, which is the little box on the organization directory on the Organizations tab. Your full description. You can change your photo. You can also update any contact information. The only thing that's really important here is the email address. If you have an external website to direct people from Win to somewhere else, and any social media accounts you can add in here, or take anything off. So for example, if you don't use your Facebook page anymore, you can go ahead and take that off and update. Events. Events is where you're going to create any events. So this will be any club meetings or campus events that you'll have. You'll be able to submit news posts, any news that you want to share for campus. Gallery to upload any photos and videos to here. So you'll create albums to show off what you've been up to. Documents is where your constitution will live. This is also where I suggest putting any club minutes or notes, such as Acapella does, and any legacy documents to pass on to future leadership. Forms is where you can create your own forms. You can create logic-based forms here. You can also run elections and polls through this elections option here. Any of these features, you can decide who sees these. So, for example, if you're having a leadership board meeting, you can post that, decide that it's only meant for your roster to see, so it'll show up on their events tab on the calendar, but nobody else. Same with news, your photos, documents, forms, etc. Okay, that's a little tour of the Western Involvement Network and the management view.